Hello, I'm Kristi, and this is going to be my 2-year keto update video. When I say that out loud, it honestly shocks me. I don't think I've stuck to anything for 2 years in my entire life, much less a diet/lifestyle. So what I'm going to do in this video is sort of recap my monthly updates. I'm going to go over those with you, talk about what my goal weight was, what the journey has been like, and I'm also going to add pictures at the very end, as well as lots of very important tips. So make sure you stick around for those. If you don't already follow me over here, if you could subscribe, I would love to have you as a member of my YouTube family. Hit the notification bell also. I'm going to have my Instagram name right here so you can see tons of before and after photos. And there is a Facebook group, All Things Keto with Kristi. I'll link it in the description box. So make sure you go over there and join, especially if you're looking for support and encouragement. Now, before I get started with the update, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, a nutritionist, a nurse practitioner. I am just someone who started a ketogenic lifestyle, and I want to tell you about the process and the journey that worked for me. Make sure you check with your healthcare professional before you start anything like this. I've always struggled with my weight. From one of my earliest memories, I think it was around 8, buying Huskies. That's hard for a child. So it was never like I was skinny. At 5'11", I was always somewhere around 180 some pounds, which is not considered a normal weight. It's actually considered overweight by the BMI scale, but we're not even going to start on the BMI scale. So over the years, my weight fluctuated. By the time 2006 rolled around, I had got on the scale and I was weighing in at around 330 pounds. Unfortunately for me, I had made the decision to have gastric bypass surgery. It worked. I lost the weight with that surgery, but what they don't tell you is your stomach is going to stretch back. It's not going to stay the size of a grape your entire life. So your stomach does start to grow back. You're going to be able to eat larger quantities. And if you've not fixed what's going on right here, you're going to gain the weight back. And I did not fix what was going on in my head. We're gonna fast forward a decade or so. I woke up 2019 and realized I was at 232 pounds and a size 16. Nothing fit and I was miserable. I felt like a failure because I had put the weight back on after having a massive surgery like RNY, gastric bypass. I had tried so many diets in the past. I had tried Weight Watchers diet pills. Remember Fin? I had tried Nutrisystem. I tried keto, but I hadn't done my research. I tried what I thought was keto, all meats, nothing else, lots of butter, stuff like that, and nothing stuck. So nothing was working for me. Beginning of March of 2019, what had changed was my ability to research. I realized I needed to research, and then research some more. So I watched tons of YouTube videos, read lots of articles online, blogs, vlogs, you name it, I checked it out because I wanted to know what this was. What was this keto thing really? I knew it couldn't just be meat, and more meat. What had really pushed me towards keto in 2019 was the fact that my daughter, who was a teenager at the time, her late teens, it was probably her senior year, had started a low carb diet in January. I tried with her and just failed miserably, but by March, she was already down 25 pounds, and I knew that if she could do it, so could I. The big day came, March 10th, 2019. That was my first day of keto. Unfortunately for me, it was going to be strict keto because I thought after watching all of these videos, it was the only way to go. When you get out there and you start looking into things like this, honestly, there's very few people out there doing what I'm doing. Being honest and showing you failures and showing you that there are other ways to do this other than just being strict and exercising 22 hours out of the day. So when I did start, I went ahead and set my goal at 185 pounds, and that was still going to leave me in the overweight range, but I was willing to be happy with that. At this point, if I could just get down to 200, I thought I would be thrilled. I didn't set a time range or anything like that. I wasn't like, okay, in 2 months, I have to lose the weight. For some reason, it never even crossed my mind to set a time limit on it. I just set a goal weight, and that's what I focused on. That first month was strict keto, and that's what I did for about the first 2 weeks. At about the 2-week mark, I realized I wanted to incorporate intermittent fasting because apparently that was the craze at the time. So I did that as well. The first month alone, I lost 21 pounds. I was hooked on this lifestyle, especially as a weight loss kind of mechanism. Don't get me wrong. The health aspect of losing extra weight is tremendous, but that was never my thought process. Honesty is key here. I did not go into this thinking, I want to be healthy. I went into this thinking, I don't want to be overweight anymore. I'm tired of being miserable. I'm tired of not being comfortable in my own skin. And I'm tired of not doing things because I'm overweight. Month 2 was not as huge of a success as month 1, but a lot of things changed. I decided no more strict keto. It was too hard. I don't like restrictions being put on me. When you tell me I can't have something or I can't do something, my brain is automatically triggered into that's all I think about. So I transitioned that second month after falling off plan several times into a more lazy keto approach, meaning no more tracking my carbs and calories and protein and fat. Just brain overload for me. I went to only tracking net carbs in my head, or I would jot them down. That way I wasn't going to be as overwhelmed. Month 2, I had lost 7 pounds. Month 3 was not a success. That's usually when that dreaded weight loss stall comes into play, and I'd hit it. I hit that brick wall hard. And let me tell you, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard mentally when you feel like you're doing everything like you should and you're losing no weight whatsoever. You want to throw in the towel. Don't do it. Keep chugging forward. I had, fortunately for me, listened to everybody in my life, and I had took pictures and I had took measurements. So even though I think that third month I had lost basically an ounce or something like that, I had lost 3 inches off of my waist, which for me was way more important than 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Although I'm a numbers person, I want the scale to keep going down. 3 inches off of your waist in a month is huge. So fortunately for me, I kept chugging along and I refused to give up. By month 4, I think I lost around 8.5 pounds. That brought me to a total for 4 months at about 40 pounds. I was still in shock at the fact that this was working, but don't get me wrong, I was not perfect. I'm still not perfect to this day. I was falling off plan, but I was getting right back on low carb, lazy keto, and I was just picking up where I left off. Whereas in the past, what I would do is on any other diet, I would completely throw in the towel. I'd be like, this is too hard. I give up. Next, I'll just be fat the rest of my life. Flash forward to 1 year. At my 1 year update, remember my goal had been 185 pounds. I was at 181. What? I know, I was below my goal weight. I had set that goal weight honestly high because I didn't think I would make it. I mean, I'm human. I have a tendency to give up a lot in my life, especially when it comes to losing weight. It had been a pattern my entire life, and I did not think that I would be successful with this. But I had been, and I was, and it was going great. And even though, like I said, it wasn't perfect, it was still working. What was basically a diet in the beginning of this journey for me had converted into a lifestyle. So at my 1 year, 9 month update that I did, make sure you go check out that playlist. I'll link it up here. So that way you can see all of those videos. If you want to see the transition, you can definitely see me lose the weight in my face. But at 1 year, 9 months, when I did that update, I was actually at 174 pounds. Well below my goal weight of 185. And I was considered normal, no longer overweight when it comes to the BMI. Again, we're not going to talk about that disaster of a chart. What had happened between the 1 year mark and the 1 year, 9 month update was I discovered dirty fasting. Now, intermittent fasting, clean fasting, no. It was like clean keto. It did not work for me. Too restrictive. I'm not that person that does well with restrictions. So I did research and there was very little out there about dirty fasting. For me, it just worked. Dirty fasting with low carb, lazy keto was the magic combination. Again, I'm not a doctor or a nurse practitioner, definitely not a nutritionist, but it is something that if you've not heard about, look into it. Check with your healthcare professional, see what their thoughts are. When I first started dirty fasting, it wasn't something that I would do daily, maybe just 1 day a week, 2 days a week, but it has gradually grown to the point where I do dirty fast quite a few days out of the week at this point. It's something that I have incorporated into my lifestyle with this whole low carb journey, and it has been just life changing, or let's say weight loss changing. So now we're going to get to the 2 year mark. Dum da da dum. Remember my goal, 185. My starting point, 232 pounds. I'm now at 167 pounds, and that fluctuates. It's normally anywhere between 165 and 169, so I'm staying in the 160s, which is mind-blowing. It honestly shocks me that I have got down this far, and it's not like I'm still trying. It's not like I'm actively in weight loss mode at this point. What I'm doing is I'm just staying low carb. I've basically at this point transitioned from not keto, I'm low carb. I allow things that the keto police would consider off limits into my life, like soybean oils and things like that. It's not like I consume them daily, but they are allowed into my life. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes basically to anything. I'm not going to kid. And I'm not going to be that way with my lifestyle or the foods that I consume. I'm not an elitist. I'm not going to be like, I can only have healthy foods. It's just not me, and it's not realistic for me. And I know it is for some people. And if that is something that you're striving for, go for it. That's amazing. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to transition into that. But right now, it's just not on my agenda. 2 years doing keto, dirty keto, lazy keto, clean keto, strict keto, low carb, intermittent fasting, dirty fasting. You see a pattern here? I have managed to lose 65 pounds. And I feel honestly like I have learned so many different things. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle. So let me say this. If you decide that this is a diet and it's not something that you're going to stick with, just know that if you decide to go back to the standard American diet afterwards, you're probably going to gain every single ounce back that you've lost. You need to convert your mindset into, this is the way that I'm going to live now. This is a lifestyle. You can tweak this. You're not going to feel deprived. You're not going to feel like you're missing out. You can make this work for you. There are so many new items out on the market. You're going to be able to feel just like everybody else. So here's what's worked for me. Dirty fasting, low carb, forgiving myself when I do fall off plan, which does happen. I do sometimes consume copious amounts of really bad carbs. but being consistent and getting right back on plan, that's what's working. Not giving up, not giving in to those temptations for months on end, and getting right back to low carb and keto and intermittent fasting, dirty of course, is working. Now, let's talk tips and tricks and things that got me through, and most importantly, things that I wish I'd known in the beginning. These are going to be in no particular order, but first, set a goal weight, not a time frame, because everyone's journey is going to be different. What may take me a month to do may take you 2 months to do, or vice versa. Do not compare yourself to other people on the same journey. Remember, no one is perfect. If you are following people on Instagram, on YouTube, and they're doing this perfect lifestyle and it makes you feel bad about what you're doing, like you're not good enough, you're not perfect enough, you're not eating the right foods, unfollow. Unfollow and move on. You don't need to feel bad about what you're doing. If you are watching people on social media and their life looks perfect, it's a lie. Nobody's life's perfect. My life's not perfect. Your life's not perfect. Unfollow, move on. Don't feel bad about yourself. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. If you fall off plan, if you decide that you want Japanese food and you binge Japanese food, it happens. Don't sit and beat yourself up over it. Just get right back on track. This is a lifestyle, not a diet. You know, you've told people, I'm doing keto, and all of a sudden you get everyone's opinion on how you're doing something that's unhealthy. None of their business, first of all. But second of all, if you just went in and you're like, oh, I'm doing a low carb lifestyle, everybody's fine with that. I think it's just the wording. When people hear diet, negative, negative, negative. When people hear lifestyle, they're fine with it. So remember, it's a lifestyle, not a diet. This is something you're going to be able to do forever. I'm 2 years in. Take your measurements and take your pictures. Set up a day where you're going to do monthly measurements and monthly progress pics, because there will be times when you lose absolutely nothing, but you're going to be able to see it in those pictures, or you're going to be able to see it in inches lost, and that'll keep you motivated. Take your collagen. Collagen is important. I didn't know this on day one. I don't think I found out. I started in March, about 4 or 5 months in. When I took my daughter, my youngest, to the doctor, I had mentioned that I was having issues with hair loss. It can be an issue with any lifestyle change. He suggested to me, and it was even this brand because he had it in his office, take your collagen, Kristi. He had Perfect Keto, and that was my first introduction to Perfect Keto collagen. I always have a discount code below for Perfect Keto. Your collagen is going to be good for hair, skin, nails, and joints. It makes a difference. The reason I liked Perfect Keto is because I am on a keto or a low carb lifestyle. They have amazing ingredients and they add MCT, which does help with a keto lifestyle. Do your research. For me, this is the one that was best. I did try several. This one is not chalky. It mixes well and it tastes the best, in my opinion. My favorites are the strawberry and the chocolate, and even mixed together, they're really good. But hair, skin, nails, and joints, we start losing collagen in our 20s. You need it. Believe me. Research it. Okay, this next tip is something that I've learned over the last 2 years. And it's probably not something you're going to hear from probably anybody other than me. Have the piece of cake. Have the bowl of pasta. If you're going to a wedding, don't miss out on that special occasion and not have a piece of your daughter's cake. Don't miss out on going to Italy and having pasta while you're there, or a glass of wine. It's a moment. You're going to have the opportunity to get back on a low carb lifestyle, and you're going to be just fine. One little blip is not going to erase all of your hard work. We only live once. Life is short, guys. I'm not saying go out there and have a 2-month binge fast. What I'm saying is you have a special occasion. It's okay. You already have the tools and all of the knowledge to get right back on track. You can do it. That one piece of cake, it's not going to kill you. That one glass of wine or bowl of pasta, that's not what made us overweight in the first place. Just be consistent and get right back on track. You can do this. I believe in you. If I can do this, anyone can do this. 2 years in now. And like I said, I slip up all the time. I'm not doing perfect keto over here, okay? I'm doing the lifestyle that works best for me. So play around with it. Figure out what works best for you. I'm 100% in your corner, and I know that you can do it. It's a learning process. You're going to figure out what works best. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will. It took me 2 years to figure all this out, guys. So give yourself time. Give yourself grace and forgiveness for when you do have slip-ups. Get right back on track. I don't plan on going anywhere. This is where I'm at. Sharing my journey with you guys, interacting, doing some chats, and helping each other along the way. You guys give me tons of suggestions, tips, help me to grow and to figure this process out. So that's what we're here together for. Come on over, join, hit the notification bell so when I upload you'll know, so that we can have a chance to figure all of this out together. Thank y'all so much for watching. Stick around. Again, I'm going to be adding pictures probably throughout the video and maybe even just at the end. We'll see. Go check out the playlist if you want to see how I did and my monthly updates. And I do also post weekly grocery hauls, and those are going to be low carb, keto friendly, as well as what I eat in a day videos. So make sure you stick around for those. That's it. That's all I got. It's just hard to believe it's been 2 years. Never done anything for 2 years. If I can do it, you can do it too, believe me. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I guess I'll see you at the 2.5 year, maybe 3 year update. Over here on this playlist, of course. Lots of other videos to go check out in the meantime, though. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.